All right, this is the test review. I'm going to start going over each question. If you want to take a look, you can. If you're watching from home, yes, you need to. David is saving to buy a car. The table shows the relationship between how much David has saved and the time in weeks he has been saving. What is the rate of change of the balance in the account with respect to time in David's saving? Keyword here is rate of change. That means you are looking for a slope. So we need to find a slope. You also need to know that your time, remember we talked about the money is the y anyway, but your time are all of the x's on top and your y's on the bottom, all right? So what you will need to do is you will need to put all of your x's on the left side, all of your y's on the right side. Then immediately after your table, you need to put in the linear regression. The linear regression is the y1 tilde mx1 plus b. So if you need to pause the video and do that so you can see what your answer is. Your answer is going to be 20. The rate of change is going to be 20 because 20 is your m. We were looking for m, the rate of change. All right, we did this one earlier. That's how I know it's 20. So number 2. The temperature of a tank is decreasing at a constant rate. The graph shows the relationship between the number of hours and the amount of water in the tank. So there's like a little typo. This over here should be the amount of water, not the temperature, but you can still do the problem correctly. Notice there is not a table like this one that I can put in Desmos. So, like your posters say, put in a table or make a table. We need to make a table for this one. And since we know it is a straight line, we really only need 2 points from this line. So I'm going to pick the ones that are exact perfect points. I'm going to use this one because it's exactly on the 1 on the x and on the 80 on the y. And then I'm going to choose, well, why not just choose the next one right next to it? This is exactly at 2 on the x and exactly at 78 on the y. Now that I have my 2 points, you will have put them in the Desmos calculator. Then on the next line underneath, this is once again, just like we did this one, you're going to put your y1 tilde mx1 plus b. Sorry, that's my phone. And then it's going to give you several things. It'll give you a r squared, it'll give you a r, it'll give you a m, and it'll give you a b. But if you keep reading, we don't really know exactly what it gave us. Oh, I think it says, yes, complete the statement that describes the rate of change. Rate of change. We need the rate of change, y'all, which means we are looking for the m, the rate of change. So if we put that in there, you might need to pause the video so you can do that. All right, I put this in your, yes, I put this in my Desmos, and I'm getting that my slope is -2. I also got a different number, which was 82, but that's not really needed. I need this for my slope. The rate of change, it says increases, decreases. Well, if you didn't know, read the problem or look at the line. It should be decreases, it should go here. And then at a rate of, the -2 should go here. -2 per hour. All right. So now I'm moving on to number 3. Determine the value of m, slope, and b, y-intercept, in the equation y equals mx plus b. For a line passing through these 2 points. That's the same thing we just did on number 1, number 2. I don't even know if I still want to do this one for you, because it might be too easy. Yeah, I think I'm going to skip number 3. Number 3, do it yourself. In order to do number 3 yourself, I'm gonna set it up for you. First step, just like your posters tell you in the classroom, you need to put these points in a table. Yes, you will put the points exactly in the table, because a point is in xy. The other point is also in xy already. Once you put it in there, underneath your table in Desmos, you're going to put your y1 tilde mx1 plus b. Then you will find your m and you will find your b. Okay? Moving on to number 4. This one's more important. right now. This is different. The total cost of purchasing fuel for your automobiles vary directly with the number of gallons purchased. If a customer paid $28.70 for 10 gallons of fuel, how much would 15 gallons of fuel cost? Now, I hope you recognize a key word. Anybody recognize it? There's a tiny little poster up there that reminds you about direct variation or varies directly. You have to remember, even if you don't remember what it means, there's a tiny poster right next to my other big ones. Because once again, I'm setting up a table for the the fourth time on this test review, setting up a table. In my table, I must have 0, 0. So if you finish the checkpoint, you need to come on and come with us on the here on this test review. Okay, don't worry about your checkpoint score. We can look back at it in a second. I need you to pick up number 4 right now where we're at. So why did we put 0, 0 in here? Because it said direct variation or varies directly with the number of gallons purchased. If a customer paid $28.70 for 10 gallons of fuel, how much would 15 gallons of fuel cost? We're missing, we got to figure out where to put these two numbers. I hope you remember the money is the, anybody remember? The money is the what? The Y. So 28.70 will be the money. How much did we get for this amount of money? We got 10 gallons for this amount. From here, I am putting my table in Desmos again. 0, 0, 10, 28.70, and then I do get an M of 2.87, I get a B of 0, but I still haven't answered my question. The question is, how much would 15 gallons of fuel cost? You need to know what 15 is. Is it X equals 15 or is it Y equals 15? It should be X equals 15. If it was, remember, Y is the money. So next in your Desmos, you will type in X equals 15. Then you will look for where the two lines cross. Once you find where the two lines cross, guess what? You're going to get your answer. And I'm not writing it because I don't want you to sit here and just copy me the whole video and not know what's going on. Follow the steps. The same steps we did on 1, 2, 3, and 4. This one had an extra step. Type in X equals 15 and find your answer. That's going to be how much it costs for 15 gallons. If you wrote 15 again right here, you're wrong. Give me the other number. Okay. Number 5. The function y equals 14.23 plus 1.54x can be used to determine the cost in dollars for a taxi ride X number of miles. What is the rate of change of the cost in dollars with respect to the number of miles? Rate of change again is our keyword once again. Rate of change means you're finding what? It means you're finding a slope. Oh, this one should be one of the easy ones. You don't have to look at the table. You really don't. Look at your equation. How do you identify a slope? How do you identify a slope? It's whatever one has the x next to it. So you're putting just your slope, 1.54. No, do not write the x. No, do not write m equals, especially when you're entering in your test. All right. Number 7 is just like number 3. So you need to do number 7 and number 3 right now. Maybe you should pause the video and do it. Pull up your Desmos calculator. 7 and 3 are exactly the same. I'm not going to do it again. All right, we're ready. I'm going to skip number 8 for now. I'll do number 8 at the end. But we're going to look at number 9. The owner of a candy store orders Twix chocolate bars in large boxes and then repackages them to sell in small boxes in each store. Each large box contains 20 Twix chocolate bars. In his latest shipment of large boxes, 8 of the candy bars were damaged. Which equation shows the relationship between Y, the total number of candy bars that were not damaged, and X, the number of large boxes he ordered? Okay? So you need to understand we don't have a table here, we don't have a graph, so we can't really make a table, but this is when your brain needs to be thinking of key words of a word problem. How do you find, thank you, somebody said the word each. What's the other ones? Per and every. Each, every, and per are going to tell you where to find your slope. Okay? So somebody said each. I think they're referring to each right here. What did each large box have? 20. The each is going to carry you to how many each? It was 20 for each box. So 20 is going to be my slope, which means 20 needs to have what attached to it? That means 20 must have an x next to it. Look at A. Does 20 have an x next to it? No, so I can automatically eliminate. Look at B. Does 20 have an x next to it? No, thank you. Exactly. It doesn't even have a 20. Look at C and D. Now C has 20x with a minus 8, and D has 20x with a plus 8. I need you to see what's happening in the problem. From the boxes of candy bars, what was happening to those 8? Did 8 get damaged or did 8 get added? They got damaged. So that's why you need to know the key word on this one is damage. Something got damaged, so we lost 8 of them in that box. Okay? All right. Moving on to the back. The table shows the number of species added to the United States endangered species each year for several years. A linear function can be used to model the data. Oh, you got to be really careful with this problem. Because the weird thing is if you, it says calendar year, if you type in these exact years, I don't think it's going to give you the correct information you need. Because you got to know that this was from year 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It actually saves you some typing because you don't have to type in 1996, 1997, 1998. You're just going to start from 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And yes, the top row are your X's, the bottom are your Y's. So please take a moment, pause your video, because your video is not going to pause. Pause your video and get this in Desmos so then we can use linear regression to find the function that best models the data. Your y1 tilde mx1 plus b, the equation that best models the data is y equals negative 14 point, and I'm just going to I'm not going to change this to a fraction because it's probably going to be uglier than the decimal. Negative 14.54x with the plus 86.6. I'm going to round that to a 1, okay? This is the equation that best models the data. Remember, function, equation, same thing. What type of correlation does it represent? That's where the R comes into play. Remember, the correlation coefficient is the R, and the R is negative 0.90. What does that mean? Negative means it's negative. We haven't done this in a while. And strong because this is like 90 cents. We're close to $1. Anything above, please write this down if you want to get your extra credit. Anything above the 0.50 is strong, which I know it sounds weird, but I just want you to please quote it. Anything above a 0.50 would be strong, because it's either strong or it's weak. So please write this down in order to get your full credit. All right. Any questions about this one? I can pause the video and talk to y'all. No? A company advertises on a website. A worker tracked the number of visits to the website and the number of clicks on the advertisement. The table shows the date for several days. A linear function can be used to model the data. Y'all, this is exactly what we just did in the other one, but it's not really like it's going by years, so you do need to use the exact numbers here. Use the exact X's, use the exact Y's. I'm going to pause it for a moment. So notice this one doesn't ask for the equation, but you will still need to put this in your Desmos. You will still need to put the y1 tilde mx1 plus b. Then after that, you're going to have to put something. After that, it says, what is the best prediction of the number of clicks on the advertisement if 200 people? So next is when you have to put in your x equals 200. So then you can see where the two lines cross. So if you haven't done that yet, you need to do it. Put in your x equals 200. See where the two lines cross. And yes, it looks like it's very close to that. Thank you, Mariah. Lewis, did you get it? Very close to, she said 109. I'm getting 108.4 if you were worried about that one. So yes, this one definitely do it yourself. There will be predictions on there. Number 12 should be easy because if you just make a table and use the points given, put your y1 tilde, it asks for m and b. All right. We already did number 13 together. Number 14, I know it's almost time to go, but please take a look at number 14. I don't want anybody to be confused because we're used to seeing y equals mx plus b. Look, they're using a equals and s's. It doesn't matter. This is still your y equals mx plus b. Y equals mx plus b. And then number 15, I believe we did together in class. Thank you. Have a great day.